fucking flyer. I'm the legend in this league, write my ballads on the lyre. Have 'em sing it.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the AHGL. We have a sick game for you set up here. This is going to be Amazon versus Nvidia, and I am Paddo from RaiseYourWeaponMedia. With me here is a guy that I casted a lot with this last weekend up in Victoria, BC, ThePimpImp from former Team Jitlers. Your boys actually ended up taking that tournament, so I'm sure you're pretty happy about how that turned out. Are you here still?
I am. Yeah, they did really well. Tournament was a lot better than last year's. A lot of good games on day two. Day one was a bit of a stomp as expected as group stages go. Yeah, we had a lot of great games on day two. And yeah, the team that I play with a lot pulled it out, so it was good to see. And but there was a lot of good teams I didn't even know about that came out for that tournament, so really nice to see.
Yeah, you actually have a pretty big, strong community out there. And just like you have a strong community out there, it looks like we have a pretty good community within all of these companies around the world. These big companies like Amazon, like Nvidia, you know, they're big League of Legends fans too. I know a bunch of these guys have their own League of Legends channels, like in their their work email. A lot of League of Legends groups, so they talk a lot about League of Legends all day long, and at least while they're at work too. And so we get to go home, get to play a few games, and join a cool tournament like this at the After Hours Gaming League. I think it's really something exciting for them. So it's a lot of fun for me to cast their games and give them these cool replays and make them seem awesome. So I hope they have a lot of fun with it. And look, as we look in the bans here, I don't know if these are the legit bans, but it looks like they are. They had already done picks and bans before we got in here. They were working on them while we were wrapping up that last game, since it did go pretty long. Good game between the Nerdy and Google. But both these teams I'm kind of excited about. I really like the Amazon team, mainly because they have Rumble. But besides that, Misfortune's pretty strong as well, and Pantheon's a pretty good champion as well. But they have double global ult between those two, and then they also have Rumble, who has long range. But between those two global alts, I mean, I think they're going to have a lot of effectiveness around the map. So it's going to be key for them to get Shen to probably come in there and try to thwart a little bit of that pressure. Because otherwise it could be a rough game for Nvidia if those guys get rolling and start snowballing some lanes.
Yeah, two champions I play a lot on the Amazon side there, Rumble and Pantheon. Pantheon's going to be in that mid lane, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage early. And then, like you said, those global ults, they're going to be putting a lot of pressure on all the other lanes here. We'll have to see what happens as far as the bot lane goes, with probably a 4-man gank coming in as soon as they both hit 6.
Yeah, and MF Leona is actually a very, very aggressive pressure lane. They're going to probably try to establish a lot of dominance early. Lucky for them, Sivir, I mean, she's a little bit short range in her auto attacks, but she does have a ability, you know, once she gets a few levels in that boomerang, she can clear waves pretty easily. Plus, she has a spell shield to protect her against a few of the engagements that might come in from Leona. So could work out for them in that bottom lane, but it'll be interesting to see. Maokai's going to probably have to get off some decent ganks for his team. Kassadin, probably going to be an interesting shutdown for him, but he's going to get a lot of harassment in that early game in that mid lane from Pantheon. How do you think that matchup's going to work out?
I have not played that one a lot, but Pantheon likes to trade early. So with the shield from his passive preventing an auto attack, I mean, it's really good to trade early with the AP carries. Kassadin does have some decent harass out of his queue, but he's going to have to come in to get the CS, and I think Pantheon will be able to punish him for it. I expect pretty big aggression coming out as soon as level 2 hits for Pantheon, with the Spear and the stun coming out.
Yeah, and actually we also see that Shen actually has teleport as well. It's going to be a top Shen, so he's not going to be the Shen that has to struggle to get to level 6 and then try to deal with a lot of these global ults. He'll be hitting 6 around the same time Pantheon is, so that could actually be pretty cool, key for their team, that he's going to be a top laner and be able to do that. Now, Shen versus Rumble is a pretty interesting lane because Rumble can kind of deal with him, but it'll be interesting to see how Shen starts, because I've been seeing some interesting starts where he actually goes... you go fort pot early, and you have a lot of really good pressure, and Rumble doesn't deal with pressure that well early, so if he gets some good trades off at least early and goes in for a kill, we could see that in that top lane. It'll be interesting to see what Kissin Ra actually decides to do in that top lane. But Shen should be all over trying to protect his team, which is going to be a good setup for what they actually have to fight against.
Yeah, we could see some really long, drawn-out team fights just with that teleport and that ultimate. He's going to be able to split push the entire game if he ends up with some good items to be able to do that. And with that Rumble lane there, like you said, could get some early aggression on him, really set Rumble back. If Rumble gets safely to 4, though, I feel that lane's going to be pretty even, or even go a little bit better for Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble. Yeah, once he hits that level 5, he can be very scary. Yeah, once he hits that level. Sorry, I'm just gonna update the title here so people know that it is Amazon versus Nvidia. Besides looking on the game, do a little bit of that action, and yeah, we're gonna be loading in here. Unfortunately, of course, the game hates me, so it's gonna lower. It's gonna load in the bottom right of my screen. My dual monitor's thwarting me yet again.
Yep, I didn't click anything, so I'm good. But
how dare you?
not the best when that happens, for sure.
Yeah, anybody that is a streamer that actually ever has that issue, if that does happen to you, and it's low to the point where you can't actually click on the options in video, you can actually hit Alt-Enter, and that will automatically full screen your view, and then from there you can put it into borderless. So it's a quick fix for those that are streamers that you can fix that issue in case. So nothing's broken. You don't have to restart League of Legends or anything crazy like that. But looks like we are going to be loading in here and getting started up shortly.
Yeah, you can maximize it from Task Manager as well. So
fun tricks.
Get it back. See if we have anything level 1. They're running out really fast here from Amazon. See if they're going to go for the red or if they're just sitting and waiting in this bush to see if someone comes to visit.
Yeah, and we see actually Leona putting that ward at red, so a little bit like we were talking about in the last game, it's a really good idea to do that move. It looks like Amazon's going to do that, so that makes me think that they are definitely going to invade onto this red buff. And since Cassin's just sitting mid, he didn't see them cross over or anything like that. They didn't enter through mid lane, so Amazon, if they want to go into this red, they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, they're pinging onto the bush behind the red now, so they should be moving out. It'll be interesting to see what timing they choose to go for.
No, I don't see as much as I used to, but the common start for a lot of Maokais used to be you would clear Raise by stacking your Sapperlings at 114. Looks like it's not going to be happening there, but because that used to happen, what you would see is you would see teams come around the top side through Tribrush and try to come around and come around the bushes around Race so that Maokai couldn't see them coming, and then you would try to pick off a kill that way. But yeah, Google's easily going to be able to get in here and steal this red buff, and they're not actually going to know anything about it.
Yeah, that's the route I like to take for my advance in red for sure, coming around the back. Just because if you have someone who's just protecting there, you can catch them out quite easily.
So yeah, a really heavy leash here. We actually see Cassidy coming around and helping as well. So Captain Selfish being a little bit selfish here, asking a lot out of his team, but that's actually really good teamwork because he would more than likely be able to get around and get a really fast red buff. Unfortunately, what he doesn't know is always goofing off. The captain for the Amazon team has actually stolen the red buff, and he's going to be heading down and picking up his blue buff. And Maokai going to be a little bit sad when he gets there and realizes it's already gone.
Yeah, they might know that now because he just walked through a ward, but it looks like they didn't notice he still went to that camp. But yeah, I guess it was just an Explorer ward down at the red of Amazon because it's gone now. But a successful invade and the smiteless start, not really getting any beneficial use there for Nvidia.
Yeah, and actually a bit of harass coming from Rumble. Looks like he actually has decided to go Flame Spitter right away, maybe to get a little bit of extra pressure on there. Not too worried about the trades. We see that up top, Shen has pretty much just gone the ward, massive pots route. Not too worried about the early gank from blue side, so he's actually holding that ward for a little bit. Here as we see Nocturne just crossing down, although Nocturne did pick up that double buff, so we could have seen something where he could have came up early and not be seen. But Maokai sticking with the plan is going to come around here, and Rumble needs to be careful. He's being very, very aggressive early, and this is where he is most vulnerable, and he's going to flash right over the slow. So Flash already popped, trying to use some poke there, but he's overheated.
Now. We have the dash, didn't come out though.
Yeah, not quite a lot of damage coming there.
Oh, there it is.
A little bit separated out here.
Yeah, they're probably just going to trade quite evenly. Oh, on the turret.
That's actually really, really bad right now, but he overheats without Flame Spitter.
They're going to all back out of here.
Oh, wow. This is some interesting play coming in from Rumble. He's just started boots pots, finally chugging a pot. Probably
down the bot lane. Sivir going really low. Going to be able to get out, though.
Pantheon coming up top as well, looking for possibly a rotation gank. But lots of action from Amazon. They're being very aggressive on the map, and some bold play coming in from Rumble at this point. But he's kind of zoned out Shen a little bit. Shen just kind of hanging back, but he has a lot of pots, so he should be chugging those and be getting back to action here. Should be fully backing off.
Yeah, kind of going with that Season 2 boots pots start. Probably going to end up getting punished for it, but because Shen's going to end up with 6 more pots to be able to use. But, you know, it looks... He's got 1 left. Shen's already down to 4. But that's showing in the life bars as well.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting here because Rumble's actually getting a lot of free harass. Like, Shen's not even trying to throw anything back at him. And really in an attrition game like that, that's what you want to do. He doesn't want to... He obviously can't go in because there's too big of a creep wave there. He's going to take way too much minion damage if he decides to pick a fight out there. But... yeah, interesting top lane going on. We see Maokai actually coming through here, just showing his face, putting a little pressure on Pantheon, letting him know that it's not a free ride in this mid lane, although he's going to have to hit last hit underneath turret. So far, so good. Has pretty much picked up every single one that I've seen so far, and actually pretty good play there from Pantheon in that mid lane. Oh, nice and Zenith played. Perfectly landed.
Kassadin is on his way down, so that was well timed because they could have found themselves in trouble if that was about 10 seconds later. They did have a ward though, so they would have been able to back off in time, but as soon as Sivir went down, they didn't need to.
Yeah, I mean, and really just great setup by Leona, actually being able to land that out of the brush, come in there and lock up that kill. And like you said, good timing because Kassadin was ready to roam down and do some damage. He is level 5 now, so he can do a bit of damage, but he's not level 6, so there's going to be no crazy rift walking action.
Maokai up top again, right on top of Rumble. Shen backed off way too far, though.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. It is level 5.
Misses the dash. I feel that could have been an easy kill, but Shen just backed right off from
Lots
the harass.
of trouble in mid lane, flashes over the wall, gets out of the fear tether, but the chase is on by Pantheon after cooldown. Even he might not even need it, he can just spear or auto attack, and that is going to be that for Kassadin. So again, you know, a little bit miscommunication in this top lane. I feel like if they just synced up a little bit, they could have actually made Rumble's life a bit of, you know, living hell up there in that top lane. But since they've kind of been one at a timing, it's not really working out for them. And now that Rumble has hit level 6, you know, if they try to do that again after Rumble gets a little bit more health back, he's actually out of his pots at this point.
There we go. And with Nocturne rotating around, could be in trouble here. If the fear tether goes off, he should go down.
Oh, yes, he is able to get nice overheat into the flame spitter. Just barely falls down, but
Nocturne
they're basically
should
just
be able to finish it off.
Yep, and actually Rumble getting the kill.
Right way. Yeah, nicely done there. Just staying too long. Nocturne going around the ward by coming in through the jungle. Really nicely done there.
Yeah, good communication. I wonder if Rumble actually saw, you know, when Shen was a little bit too obvious with that ward, and that's something you have to be careful of as a top laner, not to be too obvious, because it's a really easy thing for them. You know, if you're placing one ward, especially if you're on that red side, you know, they can come from Tri-Brush, they can come from River, and all they have to do is basically switch up the call and tell their jungler to loop around or come straight up River, and you're never going to see them coming in. So, good work by Amazon to communicate that.
Alright, and in the mid lane we got Seeker's Arm Guard against a Brutalizer, so we'll have to see how that works out. We haven't seen a lot of the Seeker's Arm Guard. Down the bottom, Sona's just going to be able to walk, or sorry, Sivir's just going to be able to walk away there.
Yeah, it wasn't... you know, Seeker's Arm Guard was an item that worked a lot at least at GotaCon. We saw that at least the people that bought it ended up being successful. Now, whether it was specifically Seeker's Arm Guard or just, you know, the way the game played out was pretty effective. Although the last game that I just cast in ESCA, it was kind of didn't go that way. The Seeker's Arm Guard didn't help out that much in the very end.
Yeah, I mean, it's given 30 armor off the bat, and then you can get the 50 up to 15 bonus armor as well, and the bonus ability power. So once that gets farmed up, it should be a good item for him in that lane. That I wanted to mention, when Pantheon did get that kill, it was right before Kassadin hit 6, so the lane dynamic does change a bunch at 6, as Pantheon's ultimate is mostly for going elsewhere, whereas Kassadin's, it's to get to elsewhere, to initiate, to get away, so it gives him a lot more versatility in the lane. But with the kill there, he might not be able to stand toe-to-toe with Pantheon.
Amazon with some pretty good warding setup. The only ward actually we see coming in from Nvidia is in that top lane. So at this point, and again, you know, level 6 is being hit pretty much across the board. Nocturne's level 6 as well. So we could see a lot of global presence with this lead coming around. And that top lane, Shen's starting to have a bit of trouble against Rumble, because Rumble actually has that hunting guys, and even with that belt of health, he's pretty much, he has no pots in there, so he doesn't have a lot of sustain. So every time he tries to come in there to CS like we're seeing now, he's going to take a lot of harass from Rumble, and once Rumble basically gets the right positioning, he can actually go in and probably go in for a kill. He's keeping his heat very, very nicely around that.
Here comes
nice
the
spot.
4-man dive.
Ooh. Yeah, and they're going to be able to pick up Maokai in the trail there, but exhaust onto Sivir, and Sivir's going to be able to get out of this. This is very, very close right there, potentially. Could have got caught. A lot of members for Amazon low in that dive, but they're still able to come up with a kill, which is very key for them.
Yeah, I think they were actually quite lucky to have Maokai there. I think it would have just been a straight 2 for 0.
Oh, here's the dive onto top.
Up
Rumble
top.
has enough of an advantage. Going to go in and just make sure, but he knows that after he saw Maokai bottom, he's not too worried about, and he saw Kassadin in middle. He knew he was pretty safe to make that dive, but Kassadin rotating up very, very quickly. He's going to try to punish Rumble for this, but it looks like Rumble should be able to get out of this.
Yeah, he's kind of low on mana too, so he shouldn't go for the dive here. Probably just clear some creeps while Shen's down. And yeah, we haven't really seen Shen use either ability. He's been pressured up top. I don't know if maybe they want to try something different as far as how they arrange the lanes, but really just, if we go down the bottom.
Initiation by Leona, just getting in there, getting a lot of pressure. They're really not letting up on this lane, not letting him feel comfortable at all. And looks like Sivir pops ult to actually run to bush and actually back to base. So far, she just has a Vamp Scepter to try to sustain up against the pressure that she is facing in lane, but she's going to go back and try to probably get a little bit something more before she comes back to lane. Looks like she's going to get some boots and a dagger, so it looks like she's trying to go for that Berserker Greaves, but not just enough mana quite yet. You know, sometimes it might be better for her to possibly either maybe get another ward for a lane. It looks like Sona not backing it either. They're going to need that ward to protect themselves. They look like they have one up, but wouldn't hurt, or maybe some pots so she can stand up a little bit better. The dagger probably could wait a little bit. But we see the Grand Skyfall coming on top after the equalizer, but the equalizer misses, unfortunately. If that equalizer hit, might have been enough slow that the Grand Skyfall would have worked out.
Yeah, good response there by Shen. Good attempt by Pantheon, but equalizer missed a little bit, and that allowed Shen to get out quite easily with just a dash. It's probably not the target they want to go for on that. I think they just want to repeatedly go bot lane, but maybe they're trying to do something else, since there's actually a 50 CS lead for Misfortune. Leona been doing a great job in zoning Sivir away from the creeps.
Yeah, Nocturne trying to thwart off a little bit of this pressure here, but he's going to need some help. There we see Pantheon coming in here, trying to get a stun onto Kassadin. Kassadin going to rift walk out of this. Going to be pretty elusive here and just back off. And so far, I have to hand it Nvidia. They're getting pressured a lot. They had some kills in lane. There's been a lot of good aggression, but they've also kind of thwarted a little bit of the roaming around the map. It could be a lot worse at this point, but
down bottom Sivir might go down, walks back into the bullet time, doesn't quite get picked up though.
And she's having to go back to base quite a bit here in this early stage, and we see that Misfortune lead just constantly build up here. Went back, has pretty much the same items, but she has also a Brutalizer on top of that, which is a pretty scary thing. And it'd be interesting to see what she decides to do. If she decides to go for a bigger item, but we see a little nice engagement on there again. Kassadin has pretty good disengage, it looks like, against Pantheon now that he does have that Rift Walk. So not too scary. Sona just barely going to dodge that Zenith Blade to get out, but now she's going to be stunned. Now she's going to be focused, and with that Ignite on there, she is going to die. Probably should have backed off and not stood on that turret. too long. It's pretty low in items. I think should have paired back and probably backed off with her AD at least one of the times. Previously, we see Cassin rotating down as well as Maokai trying to get in here and bully a little bit. Nocturne coming down to support her team. MF poking in a little bit, but they still have Leona. I think they could still make a pretty decent play here. Sunlight or Solar Flare at least should be coming back up online shortly, and I mean they have some decent play there. That you don't want to get too aggressive when chasing him down and you think you've thwarted off the turret, because he could get turned on really quickly and punished. Looks like Pantheon pushing up that lane while Cassidy was away, and Amazon just making a lot of really good plays this game.
Yeah, they're just making the right decisions. Even when Leona had to walk right into Sivir there to get out of turret aggro, she had her team's support, so she was able to just walk away through the turret again. And they were just able to walk away with that free Sona kill.
Looks like Pantheon actually working on blue buff at this point is going to get a little bit of extra cooldown in there. Get some cooldown on that ult so he can get around a little bit quicker too as well. Looks like all ults are up, so we could see Nocturne and we could see the Darkness and the Grand Skyfall coming into play yet again anywhere on the map. But like you said, they have bottom lane pretty well in hand. So, you know, where they really go with that, like, I don't quite know. I mean, they could keep snowballing that harder, I guess, could be their next move. But I imagine they might just key off of Rumble. We see a rotation up here. I think this is actually bad for Nvidia if they're going to do what I think they're going to do, which is I think they're going to try to pick up Rumble. But, you know, an Equalizer, Grand Skyfall, and Nocturne coming in later, we could see a triple kill for Amazon side. So there's the engagement onto Rumble. Will he get down the Equalizer to cover himself off? They're doing a lot of damage right away. No Skyfall yet coming in, but you can see how low they already are. Nocturne going to come in here, clean up one kill, and he might be able to get another one. Fear Tether just barely dodged. No Skyfall coming in. Will he be able to run down? No, he's not. So actually 1 for 1, but bottom lane still in a heavy advantage pushing on there. Pantheon just sitting mid, pushing this out.
Yeah, I was going to say I would like to see them ward up the jungle a bit, maybe try and interrupt Maokai a bit. Stop him from farming as well, because they've got all the lanes. It's really just Cassidy who's able to get some farm right now, just because he's able to get out if he gets engaged on.
Yeah, actually, that actually is a pretty good call. I think that that would be pretty good for them, because I mean, imagine, you know, Maokai just even trying to do Raise, they could easily get on and pick him off as well, and just snowball everything they have at this point. They're gonna pick up a dragon as well. Looks they have about a 10k lead at this point, and we're 16 minutes in. Really clean game from Amazon.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything I don't like. Could have been a much different game if those top lane ganks ended up working out with Shen and Maokai. Because if Shen got a bit of a lead, it would have been an easier lane. He might actually been able to get out of his lane with his ultimate and with his teleport and make an impact somewhere else in the map. And that would have might have let Cassidy get out of his lane and start to roam.
I think other key might have been like, I mean, yeah, I agree, because if they would have snowballed that, we would have probably seen Shen a lot more around the map. And since we haven't done, I mean, he hasn't even used teleport. Teleport's up. Stand United's up. Really haven't seen any of that there. And I even think to the point now that even if he was to go bottom to try to protect the harassment that's going on down there, I don't know if it'd be enough. I think he'd almost die to MF and Leona in that bottom lane, because just they have so much of a dominance there. See Nocturne coming out here, starting to the fight off. Nice solar flare from Leona. Great stacking of CC. Stand United coming in there, might be able to protect Maokai. Little bit of dash taunt onto Leona, back him off out of there, and great play by Shen to actually come in there and stop that push, because Maokai almost about to die. But Amazon, again, really clean stacking of CC there. They layered it very perfectly to get the maximum duration out of it. But good response from Nvidia to keep Maokai alive.
Yeah, good. Very good support from the team there to prevent a kill there. Rumble's still pushing top right into the turret there. They're just pushing their advantages, pushing their lanes. They have all the outer turrets now, so they're going to be looking for inner turrets and possibly a Baron next. Yeah,
it looks like Rumble actually just going for that kind of all magic penetration build, which in season 2 was kind of like a solo queue build. I mean, it could work out if you're ahead and getting into those items really early, but now that with the changes to magic penetration, I think it could be even a little bit better, especially if you want to follow that up even with percentage. Like if you built any magic resist, you would be in a lot of trouble, but now he's pretty much getting true damage plus in some of these cases against pretty much everybody he's going to fight in a lot of these team fights. And his equalizer is going to hurt a lot in a team fight. You saw even when he was engaged on earlier, just his equalizer almost killed Cassidy and Maokai by itself straight up.
Yeah. Normally a second item we'd probably see a Rylai's. Oh, might have something going on in the mid here. Twisted advance for Maokai. We are going to have a follow-up, but a disengage from Leona.
Oh, that was actually very, very nice. Bullet time coming in here. It's going to kill Cassidy in mid-jump. Ignite onto Pellinor. Will he be able to get a he does get an auto-attack in. Thought he might have tried to auto-attack to get a little bit of lifesteal, but looks like it did fall. Grand Skyfall gonna come in here onto Sona. He's gonna get the steal, and that is gonna wrap this up possibly. Oh, the exhaust! The exhaust almost got it.
Not quite enough.
Yeah, Heartseeker Strike, being able to seal the deal, didn't quite come out in time. And now we're going to see MF push up on this turret and should be able to take it. Meanwhile, Rumble doesn't even have to be there, has some backup from Nocturne, and they're just pushing the turret. And that just kind of, that team fight right there is just kind of a display of, the state of the game that Amazon and Snowball for themselves. It looks like Leona dying there with her cool death animation. But really, when you have a fight like that and 3 members of your team are able to fend off 4, just kind of a bad sign, but Amazon's put themselves in this great position that they're in, so gonna be a lot of work for Nvidia if they want to try to make something happen, but it's looking pretty grim at this point.
Yeah, Shen just using the teleport to get to his inhibitor turret there. Probably a bit of a waste. Maybe would have preferred just to see a home guard boots pick up, but he doesn't even have level 2s at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't have any real main on him, but he's been heavily focused throughout this game. Only has 54 CS. I mean, even Sivir as well. I mean, Amazon has really just played a really solid game, and sometimes games like this happen. I mean, you come in with the best intentions and a good game plan, but if things don't go right one game, that's just the way it goes. Again, this is a best of 1, it's a best of 3. Unfortunately, they don't get another whack at this, but props to Amazon. They came very, very prepared, and this team comp has been pretty stellar for them.
Yeah, it's worked out very well. There's just not going to be any damage at this point coming out of Nvidia, and they're just going to basically be able to do what they want. They really rotated the tanking of the damage quite well there in that last fight, and didn't have anybody go down until Leona decided to say hello to the turret after the fight.
Looks like
Maokai could get caught here.
Little poke in action
the rest
coming in.
of the team though, so he's gonna walk out.
Will he though? Oh wow, that solar flare gonna get the stand united, but she is not long for this world. Actually, oh wow, she's great taunt from Shen. She might get away with this. Gonna actually pop on the hunt to be able to get out of this, but Nocturne gonna flash, but no, she is not. Nocturne coming in, always goofing off, getting the final kill. But Shen, that was actually pretty brilliant. I mean, I'm kind of feeling like if Amazon didn't get that that early advantage on that top lane and got him so far behind, this could be definitely a different game, just based off of his supports.
Like I was saying earlier, like if he responded properly to those Maokai ganks, they could have done, and they got an early kill on Rumble, this game could be completely different. Because he's playing quite well in this mid game while he's with his team, and his ultimates are quite well placed and getting some good taunts off of them.
Yeah, for sure. And even behind the knives, and Grand Skyfall just straight
gonna
on
dive
the turret. Yeah, and they're actually clearing us out. Taunt comes in, doesn't quite get very many people. This crescendo, very nice crescendo. Bullet time going to come in to clean up some extra damage onto the team. Rumble trying to survive out of this. Will he be able to get away from Sivir though? Looks like that's going to be a no, but they're going to be able to take out this base turret. And now Sivir actually in a lot of trouble here with a red buff Misfortune on her tail, as well as a Nocturne. Always give you off, going to finish off that kill. And they are going to be able to take this inhibitor. And it looks like Cassidy was split pushing bottom, not able to take that turret. Going to come back late to the fight. Definitely could have used him in that engagement. A lot of members low underneath turret. They actually had somebody there. The taunt from Shed not quite getting everybody, but the follow-up Sona crescendo was very nicely placed by Blind Joe. So Blind Joe, or is it Blind Joe? I think it's Blind Joe. Or no, it's not.
Line-Eye Joe?
Line-Eye Joe, yeah. Nice placement by Line-Eye Joe there on support Sona.
Yeah, it just was a case again of where's the damage going to come from, especially with Cassidy in bottom. He's really the only one that's going to do that much damage with the items available here, and he wasn't even in the fight. Really, like you said, really good use of abilities there from both Shen and Sona, but there's just no damage to be able to finish anybody off. Cassidy jumping over the wall, picking up the support here.
I want to believe has the heart of the cards, is able to pick off a kill, and now they're going to get some pickoffs here
Yeah,
on
that's going to be
Amazon.
another one.
Feeding
Stopping
that
a dragon,
Cassidy.
picking up a shutdown.
They still need to be
We'll get
careful,
some damage
though.
on a Cassidy.
I think now they have enough of a team here. Rumble's not going to try to mess with that, but they've earned themselves a Baron, so props to them. You know, down with a really big deficit, but able to pick up 2 really good kills there, and now they're going to be able to get a dragon. It's not necessarily going to get them back in the game or win them the game, but really good execution so far in this game. It's going to see the Rift Walk to get out of this Harpoon. It's not going to be able to land before that Rift Walk, so Rumble's really not going to have a chance to catch Cassidy at all. They still have a 4-man down here. Maybe they'll go for Rumble. They know Equalizer is down.
Pantheon's on his way in.
Oh, is able to get away from that dash. Otherwise, that could have been a dead Pantheon as well. So Amazon getting a little bit sloppy in their engagements now, being pretty aggressive, feeling it a little bit maybe. But
The Dark Haruki effect.
yeah, the Dark Haruki effect, the man mode effect. But now they're gripping up, it looks like, and I think they're going to have a really solid push on the spot lane.
Yeah, they should just be able to push this bot lane without a problem here, and then either try to put that into the end of the game or just go and take Baron and end it from there.
Yeah, just checking on Dragon. They weren't sure if it did go down, but obviously Nvidia was able to pick that up.
Yeah, Nvidia definitely has some stuff to take away from this game. They made some good plays at certain points in the game. It was just the advantages that were picked up early that just got snowballed way too hard. That put them behind in the position they're in. That's probably going to end up costing them the game.
You see, Amazon doesn't even need creeps at this point to poke in at this turret. Just jumping in there, putting in what damage they can. Looks like they're rotating back around again. They have all lanes pushing, so bot lane's going to be dealt with. Now looks like they're going to rotate top, and mid lane obviously auto pushing as well, so that's going to have to be dealt with. Misfortune splitting off here. Looks like maybe she's checking on red buff, which is gone. Yep, she's going to see that it is gone. Now she's going to load up with her team. They're going to push onto this top turret as well, and probably just going to keep playing this roaming game. But I think they can pretty much engage on her turret, and they should be fine. They have all their ults back up, and if they land them well, they will be good, except for Grand Skyfall is down currently, but has only a couple more seconds. There's the engagement from Shen, trying to make something happen underneath turret. Bolt time getting canceled nicely by the Crescendo. Pantheon getting run down here. Amazon might be in a little trouble for that. That equalizer has flipped. I mean, it already was a little bit unfair, but that equalizer just ended all hope right there. That was a beautiful equalizer, catching 3 members, and they're not going to chase after this cast, and they're going to work onto this turret, and they're going to be able to pick up this inhibitor and might be able to push more.
Yeah, Misfortune just got to stand there and put damage on everyone. Like you said, though, Sona, really nice crescendo, gave them a chance. Pantheon going down right away. But they're going to pick up this inhib and might get Cassidy as well here.
Oh, the stun's still going off after the Rift Walk. I thought he might have been able to get out of that, but it looks like it was just a frame too late. Misfortune actually rotating on the bottom turret because they do have a huge wave there as well. So they're going to get every turret, every inhibitor. And with this big advantage that they've built up for themselves, they should possibly be able to push this home. Still teamed up a little bit low. We see the rest of the team coming out here. Still have Stand United for Shen. He's going to start this off right away, take a little bit of damage up front. Going to get stunned a lot, and he is going to fall. And they kind of need to wait for a little bit more of their team. We see them coming in a little bit one at a time at this point, and they don't really have any of their big CC ults left up, so just going to be picked up here, cleaned up, and I believe Amazon is going to close this one out. Very solid game from them so far, and the Grand Skyfall
One
just
more
to end
Skyfall.
it up.
Oh, Maokai, watch out.
Equalizer back up already. And that's the game. Amazon very, very nicely executed game. And Nvidia had their moments, but just, was a little bit too little, too late.
Yeah, every lane just had a massive advantage going into team fighting, and it really showed in every fight we had.
So again, congratulations to both teams. That is the last game of the night for us. I am Paddo. With me is the Pimp Imp. If you want to catch these games, you can go and check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/RaiseYourWeaponMedia. Subscribe to that because we do put a lot of games there. I know I'm going to be transferring over the Godicon games from this weekend, so you'll be able to check those out as well. You can also find me on Twitter at PaddoCast and on Facebook at RaiseYourWeaponMedia as well. Or you can join up if you're in the Northwest League of Legends area or you want to join a cool group. You can check out Facebook.com/NorthwestLol. That's a group that Highwind and I started for Northwest League of Legends players, but we've pretty much adopted everybody kind of in the area at this point. We have players from all over BC and all over Canada, East Coast, everywhere. So it's a pretty cool group if you want to hop in there. But again, you can stay up to date on all our stuff through all that social media. And yeah, anything else to say, the Pimp Imp, before we sign off?
No, I really enjoyed the games today. Good showing out of all the teams, and thanks for letting me come on and cast with you.
Right on. All right, guys. I don't